Madam Clerk, open the machine for roll call. Members, please vote your machine. Vote your machine. Are you through voting? The clerk will close the machine.
Okay, we got it.
105 members present and a quorum. The House will be open with prayer. Father Hampton Davis, the pastor of St. Anthony Catholic Church in Eunice, will you please stand? Pastor, good morning.
Thank you, brother.
Again.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Blessed are you, Lord, God of all creation. We gather this day to give you thanks for the gifts of life and love, the gifts of family, faith, and friendship, and for the gift of this House of Representatives that you have raised up to help govern and shepherd the great state of Louisiana. Loving and generous God, we also gather here in prayer to ask for your continued blessings upon the state that we all love. Pour out your amazing grace and divine mercy upon all of your beloved sons and daughters who proudly call Louisiana home. From Shreveport to Slidell, from Monroe to Mammoth, from Jonesboro to Jennings, from Green Acres to Grand Isle, from Bunkie to Baton Rouge, from the banks of the Sabine River to the levees of the mighty Mississippi, from the shores of Lake Bruin to the beaches of Lake Pontchartrain, and from the piney woods of Cenlaw to the muddy marshes of the Gulf Coast. We pray that your spirit of love and peace, please God, may help to heal and eradicate any hint of division or discord that might be present within the borders of our beloved Pelican State. In addition, Lord, we know that we stand on the shoulders of giants. Bless all the former members of this amazing House of Representatives. May those who have gone before us, marked with the sign of faith, and those who are still with us, know the power of our appreciation and of our affection. Finally, loving God, we recall that the psalmist makes it clear, unless the Lord builds the house, in vain do the builders labor. And in the words of Joshua, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. May the members of this house be formed by your Spirit into the true servant leaders that our great state so desperately needs and so rightly deserves. So please pour out your abundant blessings upon the representatives gathered here in the people's house, and give them the courage and wisdom necessary to protect our union, to promote equal justice, and to live a life of passionate confidence that in you they are never alone and they have nothing to fear. We make this prayer through the power of your most holy name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor. Please remain standing as the colors are presented by the Louisiana National Guard. will be led by Representative Raymond Cruz.
I pledge allegiance to the
The
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, yeah. Please remain standing for the national anthem to be sung by one of us, Angela Smith, who's done this so many times. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great, great.
And you still get a goosebumps.
Please be seated now for the morning hour number 5.
Oh, they have to leave.
The clerk will read the proclamation for Secretary of State.
She's going to do this.
Yeah.
Mr. Acting Speaker and members, the House is in receipt of a communication dated August 21st, 2023. Dear Speaker Schexnayder, I hereby resign my position as State Representative, District 85, effective at the close of business today, Monday, August 21st, 2023. Sincerely, Joe Marino. Another communication addressed to Speaker Schexnayder. Dear Mr. Speaker, please accept my resignation from the House of Representatives, District 74, effective 12 a.m. Sunday, December 17th, 2023. Very truly yours, Lawrence B. Freeman. A communication dated December 5th, 2023. Dear Speaker Schexnayder, I have the honor to transmit herewith, in compliance with state law, the name of the persons who have received the greatest number of votes cast for the office of State Representative in the Legislature of Louisiana from their respective representative districts, and who have been duly proclaimed and elected. With best wishes, Kyle Ardwin, Secretary of State. Attached to that communication is a proclamation with the names of the 105 House members, and that communication will be spread upon the journal in total.
The Constitution requires this body to judge the qualifications and election of its membership. Does any member-elect have any objection to the qualification or election of any member-elect? Without objection, the members-elect are hereby declared to be qualified and elected. All members elect will now stand to take the oath of office. I guess I do too.
Members-elect, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of this state, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a member of the Louisiana House of Representatives, according to the best of my ability and understanding. So help me God. Congratulations.
All right, the pending. Yeah. All right. Next is the pinning ceremony that we've done for some time now. The statutes provide for official identification, lapel pin for members of the legislature. The chair now recognizes Representative Stephanie Hilferty. Representative Hilferty. Yeah.
Thank you. Members, in each term of office, we have an identification pin for the members of the Louisiana legislature. The pin serves a dual purpose. First, the pin identifies the members of the legislature to one another and to all other officials of the state. Second, the pin assists the Sergeant-at-Arms in maintaining the security of the chamber and other legislative environments. Under our law, no one but a legislator may wear this pin. Please wear it with pride and a strong sense of stewardship for the work it represents. Today, as we begin to wear the pin for the 2024 term, we do so as a shared experience with family and friends who we have asked to sit at our side, symbolic of the teamwork and sacrifices we all depend upon to allow us to serve the citizens of Louisiana. Members, the pins are in a box in your desk drawer. Please have your family member or friend place the pin on your left lapel collar.
She's tired.
Did you say Bob?
No.
Thank you, Representative Hilford.
Okay, please help us recognize.
Yeah. We also have a lot of special guests here today, and it's too many, it takes too long to identify all of them, but I see a former one was sitting right up here. He's still here. Congressman Troy Carter, good friend of ours. And I apologize for not having the time to introduce all of you that do so much for the state of Louisiana. Thank you.
The next order of business.
The next order of business is the election of the clerk of the House of Representatives. Nominations for the office of the clerk are now open. The chair recognizes Paula Davis, representative.
Mr. Dean, ladies and gentlemen of the House, esteemed guests, and the viewing and listening public. My name is Paula Davis, and I've been privileged to serve as the representative for District 69 in Baton Rouge for the past 8 years, and look forward with great optimism to serving my final 4 years in the House with you. The officers of the House of Representatives include the Speaker Pro Tem, the Clerk, and the Sergeant at Arms. Per the rules of the House, the clerk shall be elected every 4 years, immediately after the members of the House take the oath of office. The many duties of the clerk include a responsibility to maintain an accurate record of House actions, to inform the news media, the public, and registered lobbyists, to keep the House running smoothly and in order, to be the parliamentarian of the House, and to faithfully and promptly execute all orders of the House. It is an honor for me to stand before you today to recognize and nominate for Clerk of the House a public servant who has dedicated 27 years of professional life to serving the House, Michelle Daigle Fontenot. Michelle, would you stand? Michelle earned her Bachelor of Arts and Law degree from LSU. She has served as clerk since January 2020, the first female clerk of the House. Prior to serving as clerk, Michelle worked as an attorney for the House Transportation Committee, the House Criminal Justice Committee, and was the division director of the Legal Division. Michelle has been an active leader with the American Society of Legislative Clerks and Secretaries, and serves on the Masons Manual Commission, a group of dedicated legislative staff members from across the country who are charged with updating and revising the Masons Manual of Legislative Procedure. Personally, Michelle has been married to Jude Fontenot for over 30 years, and Michelle and Jude are both from Eunice, and now called Brobridge, their home. I would like to recognize Jude. I believe there we go. They have raised two incredible sons, Patrick and Nicholas. Patrick and his wife, Holly, are here today. Michelle has demonstrated time and time again that she is tirelessly willing to go above and beyond. She has demonstrated leadership skills and surrounds herself with an excellent support staff that have been instrumental to ensuring that the House procedures run smoothly. Michelle and her staff have demonstrated remarkable flexibility and stay ahead of the curve when it comes to the latest procedures, legal interpretations, trends, and techniques. As we begin this new term, I encourage you to represent your unique districts to the best of your ability. To maximize your effectiveness, I encourage you to build lasting relationships with your colleagues and read the rules of order of the House and Mason's Manual of Legislative Procedure. I also encourage you to read the rules for each House committee. These rules are your roadmaps of the customs, usages, and practices that govern the House. I also encourage you to ask questions and seek procedural guidance from your clerk of the House and her excellent staff. Although Michelle and I look 35 years old, we both started working at the Capitol and in the legislative process 27 years ago. To describe Michelle, we use words like honest, confidential, thoughtful, and detail-oriented. So, Mr. Dean and fellow representatives, it is my great pleasure to nominate this exceptional individual, Michelle Daigle Fontenot, for the position of Clerk of the House. Let us all give Michelle the support and recognition she deserves so she and her staff may continue to support the work we will be doing for the state of Louisiana over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Paula Davis. Next, we have the chair recognizes Representative Matthew Willard.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Good morning, members, and to all of our esteemed guests. Thank you for joining us during this momentous occasion. I rise to second the nomination for our clerk of the House. What more needs to be said? I think Representative Paula Davis did a great job. So I would just echo those sentiments, and hopefully we can start this new term with our clerk and her staff back to work as we get started solving the needs of the people of Louisiana. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Willard. Are there any other nominations for the clerk of the House of Representatives? Representative Borak, why did you rise? He's not on. You're not on, but I know what you were saying.
He said, I move the nominations for the clerk be closed.
Representative Borak has moved that the nomination for the clerk be closed. Is there any objection? No objection. And there be but one nominee. Michelle Fontenot is hereby elected as clerk of the House of Representatives. Next order of business.
Nope, nope, the oath.
Yeah.
The oath for the clerk.
Yeah. The oath for the clerk will now be administered by former clerk of the House, Alfred Spear. Welcome, Alfred Spear.
I, Michelle Daigle Fontenot,
I, Michelle Daigle Fontenot,
do solemnly swear
support the Constitution and laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of this state,
and the Constitution and laws of this state,
and that I will discharge and perform
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
as clerk of the Louisiana House of Representatives.
as clerk of the Louisiana House of Representatives,
So help me God. To the best of my ability. So help me
according to
God.
the best of my ability and understanding, so help me God.
Congratulations. The next order of business is the election of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The chair now recognizes Julie Emerson, Representative.
Well, I've been up here a whole lot over the last 8 years, but this one means a little more. Mr. Dean, fellow members of the House, families and friends, Speaker elections are challenging. We've all become very accustomed to putting our names on a public ballot and having a few thousand people vote for or against us on a secret ballot. But having the courage to ask a group of just over 100 of your friends and colleagues who are already leaders themselves for their support to be their leader is an entirely different ballgame. This is my third time to live through a speaker's race, and yes, I do mean live. At times in the past, it seemed like surviving these unscathed was a major feat. This is the best and most enjoyable one I've experienced, and I think we owe a lot of that to the goodness and humility of my friend Representative Philip de Villiers. Who, Mr. Dean, I am incredibly honored to nominate today for the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives. Born in Eunice, Louisiana, he graduated from St. Edmund Catholic School, LSUE, and LSU. Philip knows the value of hard work and has owned and operated de Villiers House Movers in Eunice for over 20 years. He was first elected to the House in 2015, where he got lucky enough to be randomly paired with who turned out to be the greatest seatmate in the history of the Louisiana House. Don't fact check that later, it's definitely true. Philip quickly became a strong and trusted asset to Speaker Barra as a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. In his second term, he served as the chairman of the Retirement Committee. He's one of the hardest working members in this body, always spending extra time trying to dig through and understand capital outlay, the budget, retirement systems, whatever came his way. He and his wife, Lisa, reside in Eunice with their 3 children, Savannah, Jillian, and Cooper. I can remember 8 years ago when all 3 of them sat with us right over there on those desks because they were all 13 and under. Philip has always told me how much it means to him to try to make Louisiana a better place for Savannah, Jillian, and Cooper. It's always been his main objective to try to make our state a place where all 3 of them would have every opportunity to thrive. Guys, your dad's very proud of you, and I know you're really proud of him today. Over the last few months, you've all had opportunities to visit with Philip and see his passion for our beloved Louisiana. Philip is many things: a Christ follower, a husband, a father, a statesman, a house mover, sometimes even a barista and a dishwasher. But most importantly for me, the last 8 years he's been a brother, a friend, and a great confidant. I don't dish out compliments lightly, Philip knows this, but you'll struggle to find a better person in this building than him. The Bible tells us in the 2nd chapter of Philippians to do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. Leadership isn't about centralizing the power with one person. Leadership is about empowering the people around you to realize their potential to be great. I believe Philip has listened to the membership of this body. I believe he understands the unique capabilities of everyone here and how to set this chamber and this state up for success. So, Mr. Dean, I'm very proud to nominate my good friend and our next speaker, Representative Philip de Villiers.
Thank you, Representative Julia Emerson. Good speech. Next, Representative Dustin Miller for comments.
Mr. Dean, my fellow members, it is my humble honor and sincere privilege to be here today and to welcome each of you to this body. Whether you have been here for over 30 years or barely 30 minutes, welcome to the People's House, the Louisiana House of Representatives. In 2016, I sat where many of you are today, the beginning of my first term. Recently elected, goals to accomplish, new people to meet. I knew a lot and nothing at the same time. I realized quickly I had to learn, and I had a lot to learn. So I watched, I listened, and I extended my hand to people from across the state who I had never met. Strangers a moment ago, the people who were now colleagues. people who had also been sent here to be the voice of their district. But I was not alone. At the same time, another colleague, a friend I had recently met and briefly met, was also taking his seat in the chamber. When I first met this friend, it was at a church in a town called Mallet. Those of you who know Mallet knew he blended in very well in that church. He walked up to me like I'm sure he walked up to plenty of you with a firm handshake and looking at me straight in my eyes, introduced himself. A few weeks later, he received a phone call from a mutual friend saying, "Brother, I support you, but I just rode through Lawtell and Opelousas and there's Dustin Miller signs everywhere. I don't know how you can win this race." He said, "Well, I have good news. We're not in the same district." Born and raised in Eunice and elected to the House at the same time as I, this man was also optimistic and eager. He said to the Eunice News about his first day, "It was exciting. I really enjoyed meeting everyone and seeing how the state is run. I just want to be part of the solution." Full of enthusiasm, the man from Eunice said, "We will do what we have to do to work together and move this state in a positive direction." And he has been a man of his word. And in the years since our first day, he has worked, he has evolved, and he has kept his word to work together and move this state in a positive direction. That was January 2016, before this legislator addressed record-setting budget deficits, multiple natural disasters, COVID, and so many other things. We didn't know it then, but in 2016, we would be a part of a class of first, a class that took risks, that shouldered responsibilities, that would work towards historic achievement, a class that would face truly unprecedented challenges not only facing our state, but the world. Each of us elected to this chamber came aspiring to big goals. We each came with a plan, and then, as the poem goes, the best laid plans. And yet we remain committed to the things that mattered for our dear home, Louisiana. And now we're all here, January 2024, and I am humbled, truly humbled, and have given great thought to why I am standing here. And what would I say to you? I just want to be part of the solution. I want to be part of the solution cannot be said and done in a vacuum. Part of the solutions means I cannot do it alone. I want to be part of something bigger. I want to lend my voice and actions with others toward the solution, not just fester the problem. As President Roosevelt said in his speech, "The man in the arena," the poorest way to face life is to face it with a sneer. A cynical habit of thought and speech, a readiness to criticize work, which the critic himself never tries to perform, an intellectual aloofness which will not accept contact with life's reality. All of these mark not of superiority, but of weakness. It takes a thoughtful person to understand what being part of a solution really means. It takes a person who is willing to enter the arena. For the last 8 years, as a member of this body, the man from Eunice worked to keep his word. Because as I've come to know him, he works to be a man of his word and chooses to be the man in the arena. In that time since 2016, the man who wanted to be part of the solution has also examined his own deeply held assumptions and views, because being part of the solution requires not only understanding the problem, but also the ways to approach the solution. The person that wants to be a part of the solution needs to understand that a person needs to be able to, 1, reach out to others, 2, reflect inward, and routinely examine oneself. The man from Eunice that wanted to be part of the solution, the husband of Lisa, the father to Savannah, Jillian, and Cooper, my friend from District 41, Philip DeVilliers, has a word and has indeed proven to me that he can be a leader amongst leaders, the Speaker of this House. The role of a leader is not an easy one. Leading people is a privilege and a burden. A willingness to accept both is what makes a good leader special. Even on bad days, and there will be bad days, leaders have a responsibility to our people to be fair and consistent. The Speaker of the House of Representatives carried great weight and had a wide berth. The Speaker carries great power and with it great responsibility. The Speaker is a leader for this chamber and a leader in shaping our state. Even when my friend and I do not share the same viewpoint, Philip de Villiers has demonstrated that it is not power alone that will carry the day. It is not the person who yells the loudest that will quieten a crowd. It is not just the sheer force of might or will that will bring the most just outcome. Just because one can do something doesn't mean one should. A good leader understands that people are not simply commodities that can be replaced. A good leader must not find the human side of leadership as unimportant. A good leader should revere civility and our humanity, for failing to note and deal with uncivil behaviors can cause as much damage as the incivility itself. Today, the role of leaders is evolving and expanding rapidly. We, as people, are questioning, now more than ever, as we are faced with challenges, both old and new, and are further challenged to change and evolve our thinking. In life, we all know that change is the only constant. Good leaders must learn to get comfortable with the uncomfortable in order to succeed. We, as leaders, set the tone. The process of leading, even with the best of intentions, can become too focused on highlighting our differences rather than finding common ground. The challenge is not to swing the pendulum too far in one direction. It's to maintain a critical balance between what divides us and what unites us. Each of us in the chamber today are leaders, and we have a responsibility to our people to be a leader of leaders. An individual must guide and enable people to work together to accomplish what they couldn't do working individually. I believe that the man who wanted to be the part of the solution demonstrates that. He came here to do great things, not just things. The people of our state, the families, neighbors, friends, co-workers, and so many believe that Louisiana can be so much more. The mandate from the real world is one that transcends political trends. We are here to do great things, by each of us being part of this solution. Members, family, friends, I stand before each of you today, some of you for the first time, and I ask for your support for a man who wanted to be part of something bigger, a person interested in bettering the lives of everyday people, a person committed to Louisiana and to this body. I ask for your support for the man from Eunice, my friend, Philip de Villiers, for the Speaker of the House of Louisiana House of Representatives.
Now,
We on? Thank you for your comments, Representative Dustin Miller. Are there any other nominations of the Speaker of the Louisiana House of Representatives? Any comments? Representative Borak, why do you rise?
Mr. Dean, I move that the nominations for Speaker be closed.
Representative Borak has moved that the nomination for Speaker of the House of Representatives to be closed. Is there any objection? There's no objection. Yeah. Philip de Villiers is hereby elected as Speaker of the House, the Louisiana House of Representatives. Hey, 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 hey. do that. The oath of office for the speaker will be administered by the clerk of the House.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your full name,
I, Philip DeVilliers,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the laws and Constitution
that I will support the laws and the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as Speaker of the Louisiana House of Representatives,
as Speaker of the Louisiana House of Representatives,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my abilities
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Ms.
All right. Representative and now Speaker DeVilliers is recognized for personal privilege. Ms.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Lead me, guide me for the sake of your name. Good morning. Congratulations to all members and their family. What an honor to serve the 4.6 million people of Louisiana. Thank you to Rep. Emerson and Rep. Miller for your kind words. Makes me realize that you probably shouldn't always ask people that speak much better than you to come to the well before you. Over the past several months, I've done a lot of reflection on why I ran for office. This Saturday, I drove to Opelousas, and I had breakfast with Dustin Miller and his son Carlson. During breakfast, watching a father and a son interact, I remembered why I chose to run some 12 years ago. My son Cooper was 1, Jillian was 4, Savannah was 9. I ran because I had hope for my children. I was concerned with my friends leaving the state. The problems with crime, education, our infrastructure, our tax policies, our economy, and to be a voice for those that did not have one. Throughout your life, have you ever said, I can't do this? I have said these words many times. From going to college, getting married, starting a business, raising a family, being elected to office, and becoming the speaker. However, when I reflect on success and failure, there's always a common denominator: those around you. These people around you are there to listen, encourage, challenge, and even debate and disagree. But without them, our success would be limited. Take a moment. Look around those Look around those around you. Think of those back home that supported you to get here today. All those that support your vision for your district and our state. As we begin our journey in this new legislature, we want to remember that each of us represent a different part of our great state. We can disagree, but we must work together to move Louisiana forward. The challenges Louisiana faces are nothing new. As we get older, we often become content. I have always wondered why someone stops dreaming. I find that children will share with almost anyone their hopes and dreams of becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, but never a politician. But as they get older, they often lose focus, stop dreaming, and become content. Let us not be content. The people of Louisiana have waited long enough. With all the challenges Louisiana faces, we are left with a choice to act and change, a choice to help our districts and state, a choice to keep the fire in our hearts with the hope in our vision. Let us not fall short from being content. By trusting the Lord's timing, working together, planning, and good communication, we will be successful. And when we're successful, Louisiana succeeds. Today, with the new legislature, I have a renewed hope and a new sense of unity. I am excited that the best days of our state are coming. 4 years ago, I can remember leaving the Capitol thinking how divided we were. Today, I feel united as ever and feel the ever-presence of our God. Ms. Rebel, you've served District 41 for 20 years now. I want to thank you for your service. I think your work's going to get a little bit more hectic now, so thank you. Everyone here today has a ribbon, a pin, has a seat. It took a lot of people to make that happen. But I don't know where Stephanie is, but wherever she's at, can you stand, Stephanie, please? I'm sure through this process, we're all going to see so many people that work in this building and how hard they work. But I can tell you over the last 3 weeks, I've never seen someone work as hard as Stephanie. She's calling, she's texting, at all hours of the night and morning to make sure that every single one of us and our families are taken care of. So thank you again. To Savannah, Jillian and Cooper. It's going to be good. We got each other's back. To Lisa, we've been dating since high school, so she's been around a while. The next 4 years, it's about Louisiana. It's about all these young children and your families, and we're going to work together to make this state a great place to live, to work, and to retire. I'm excited to see what God has planned for us, united as one Louisiana, May God bless each of you, and may God bless the great state of Louisiana. Thank you.
All right. Did we do pledge? Tell me when you're ready. The chair recognizes Speaker Clay Schneider for the gavel ceremony.
You know, listening to Julie and Dustin talk about Philip, it reminds me, most of you who don't know me, I love movies, and my kids grew up watching movies. And Dustin had a comment or a phrase in his speech about Philip that reminded me of a movie, a Disney movie called The Man from Snowy River. If you remember that movie, he was challenged to do something that was almost impossible. And not too many people in this movie had much faith in him. But there was a few, select few, that did believe in him. And at the end of the movie, when he accomplished his goal and he had won most of the people over, there was one guy who said, "He's not a lad, he's a man from Snowy River." Well, I can tell y'all, this guy right here, from the first day that he served with me 4 years ago, and he was on the agriculture committee with me, I had to get up and take care of some business as the chairman, so I put him in the chair. I've never seen somebody sweat so much sitting in the chair for about 5 minutes. And when I came back, I said, "How did you do?" He said, "Never put me in that chair again." But that being said, over the past 4 years, Philip has done an excellent job as being a member and as somebody coming up here and representing the people of his district and this state. And I know he's going to do a great job moving forward. Now, we may not have the man from Snowy River, but we do have the man from Eunice right here. You know, being speaker up here for the past 4 years and serving in this house for 12, it has been an incredible experience. Sometimes challenging, sometimes frustrating, sometimes heartbreaking. But most of the time, the experience was exciting, rewarding, and great. I wouldn't trade these last 4 years as being Speaker of the House for anything. I have been blessed as Speaker of this House, and as my term ends, I am blessed to call each and every one of you friends. When the Speaker's gavel comes down, it is intended to open the House of Representatives for work. That's its intentions. The gavel is a symbol of authority. The imprint of this gavel has been deep. Throughout the years, its impact has been extremely important. Speaker DeVilliers, Philip, this gavel is a symbol of this office. Take it into safekeeping. Use it well to guide both to lead and to serve. Guard it well with your ongoing legacy to the members of this body and to the speakers who will follow behind you. Members, audience, family members, I give to you the man from Eunice, the next Speaker of the House, Philip DeVilliers. You got this.
you, Speaker Schecknider, for those words. He did put me in quite a few positions, really and truthfully, to encourage me to become a better leader. And I did sweat those 5 minutes as chair of AG. And he did put me actually up here once before, and a lot of you just started standing up and making me say your names, and Julie will tell you I'm kind of difficult with names sometimes, but thank you for those words of kindness. So, the next order of business is the election of the Speaker Pro Tem of the House of Representatives. The chair now recognizes Representative Lori Schlegel.
So I guess I get the honor of addressing you the first time at the well, Mr. Speaker, fellow members, esteemed guests. It's an honor to nominate for Speaker Pro Tem Representative Mike Johnson, or as we affectionately call him here, Pineville Mike Johnson, so nobody gets him confused with Louisiana's own U.S. Speaker Mike Johnson. And while U.S. Speaker Mike Johnson might have a better office with a view of the Washington Mall, Pineville Mike Johnson gets an office with an ice cream freezer full of goodies to dole out to the House members. Although I hear some members would like some upgrades in the freezer, so you'll have to work on that. In all seriousness, Mike Johnson will make an amazing Speaker Pro Tem. He is a gentleman in the truest sense of the word. He is gentle, he is courteous, and he is honorable. One of the first things that impressed me about Mike is how he always tries to help other representatives. When I first got here, I was tasked to carry the Fairness in Women's Sports Act in my first 2 weeks. And when I stumbled at the well, Mike was the first person to jump up to help me, and it is something I will never, ever forget. Over and over again, I have witnessed him help other reps, many times assisting us at the well, especially for us non-lawyers, giving us a softball question to help us through the process. He is truly here to serve others, as he's done in his whole life. When I read all the things that Mike has done in his life, I was amazed at how extensive the list was. And I know Mike is afraid I'm going to bore you with this extensive list of his accomplishments, so I promise just to hit the highlights. So Mike has been a true servant to this state and has tackled many important issues, like taking on the windfall elimination provision for state retirees, helping farmers with tax exemptions, and passing laws to ensure election integrity. He has also been a lifetime servant to his local community in central Louisiana, serving as city attorney and judge. Mike has also served in leadership roles in countless civic organizations, including, but not limited to, the Salvation Army, the Rotary Club, and the United Way. He also founded his parish's Child Advocacy Center and CASA office. In addition, he has served as a leader in numerous higher education organizations and economic development organizations, including the U.S. Chamber and Lobby. So it should come as no surprise to any of us that Mike has won numerous awards for his service over the years, including Legislator of the Year from the Louisiana State Firefighters Association, Louisiana Fraternal Order of Police, and the Senator Russell B. Long Legislative Service Award Legislator of the Year. Along with all of Mike's experience in public service, he also brings a unique perspective, having practiced law for over 40 years and running a practice at one time employing 35 people. I can't figure out how Mike found all the time for all this, but I can tell you, after talking to his wife Sheila, it wasn't at the sacrifice of his family. Mike is a dedicated and loving husband to his wife Sheila of 42 years, an ever-present father to his children, Lacey and Matthew, and doting grandfather to 3 beautiful grandchildren, James, Madeline, and now little baby Henry. In fact, Sheila also tells me that Mike was always involved in his children's lives, serving as his son's basketball coach for years, helping his daughter pursue her dreams as an artist and a small business owner, and serving on the PTA. So you see, Mike's leadership abilities have been developed through a lifetime of service to his family, to his community, and to this state. And I know we will continue to be blessed by Mike's service to this body, and so I proudly nominate Pineville Mike Johnson for Speaker Pro Tem.
The chair recognizes Representative Gabe Vermitt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise this morning to second the nomination of Representative Mike Johnson as Speaker Pro Tem of the Louisiana House of Representatives. You know, Mike texted me this morning and he said, look, I hope you've got a really good speech prepared for this morning. And Mike, I'm sorry, but no notes and no speech. And you know, I pride myself on always being well prepared when I come to this podium, but I don't have notes and I don't have a speech because those are not needed to talk about Mike Johnson. We've had a lot of ups and downs these past 4 years. We've had some unique challenges. There have been times of chaos, times of calm. We've had some amazing victories and not a few very disappointing defeats. But during all of those times, no matter the circumstance, I knew that if I needed counsel or guidance or advice or encouragement, I could always go to my friend Mike Johnson, and he never let me down. And that experience is not unique to me. If you are a returning member, I'm absolutely certain that you have a similar story of Mike going out of his way to help you through some difficult time. Mike's that way not because he's self-promoting or he's doing anything out of pride or conceit. He genuinely cares about people. He lives his life by the golden rule. And I can think of no one more qualified or more deserving to join Speaker DeVilliers in unifying this body and leading the state of Louisiana to heights never before thought attainable. Please join me in supporting my friend, Representative Mike Johnson, for Speaker Pro Tem. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations for Speaker Pro Tem? Representative Boriak, why do you rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the nominations for Speaker Pro Tem be closed.
Representative Boriak has moved that the nominations for Speaker Pro Tem be closed. Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, and there being but one nominee, Representative Mike Johnson is hereby elected as Speaker Pro Tem of the Louisiana House of Representatives. The oath of office for Speaker Pro Tem will be administered by the Clerk of the House.
Right hand up. Repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Michael Thomas Johnson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws
and the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and
and the
laws
Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all of the duties incumbent upon me
as Speaker Pro Tem
as Speaker Pro Tem
of the Louisiana House of
of
Representatives,
the Louisiana House of Representatives,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
Speaker Pro Tem Johnson is recognized for personal privilege.
Thank you, members, distinguished guests, fellow Louisianians, and now Speaker DeValier. I am honored and grateful for the opportunity to serve in this new role. Thank you, Representative Slagle, and thank you, Representative Furman, for your kind words, but mostly for your friendship. It is an honor to serve with you. And congratulations to Speaker DeValier on his election today. We are fortunate to have a good man and a capable leader at the helm, and I eagerly anticipate working alongside you to help build a brighter future for Louisiana. You know, when I decided to run at age 60, I set out to represent my district to the best of my ability and to work to try to improve Louisiana as best I could. And I'm excited to be able to advance that mission and those goals, serving with our new governor and our speaker and with each and every one of you. I believe, I know that God opens doors. He does. God opens doors and gives us opportunities. And He determines the seasons of our lives and of our state. I'm convinced that you and I are here for a reason, and that we cannot afford to squander these days looking back toward the past, but to be energized in our efforts while looking forward. For it is a new season and a new day. Isaiah 43 verses 18 says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. But behold, I am doing a new thing." Well, we're doing a new thing. This is a new day for this body and a season of greatness for the state of Louisiana. Today is the day that each of us recommit ourselves, that our state recommits ourselves to believe in a new Louisiana. We represent the voices of every Louisiana, and we have to work across lines of difference to strive for a state where opportunity thrives and where dreams take flight. And I can look in the eyes of so many of you and know, just as Speaker DeValier said, where his inspiration flows. I need only look a few feet away, because I'm fortunate. My family is here. Sheila, our kids, Lacey, I have trouble with the married name. Lacey Andrews, Matthew Johnson, their spouses, Dr. Tori Andrews, Lauren Johnson, and our precious grandchildren, Madeline Andrews, who's been sitting up here acting very good throughout this whole, James Andrews, and yes, our very new, 8-week-old today, Henry Johnson. There is no greater motivation for what we do than the love of our children and our grandchildren. And everything we do should be possible for them. If you need a reason to be inspired, just look into the innocent, trusting eyes of our children. So, let's embark on this chapter with optimism and unity. Let us work together, hand in hand, to seize this new day, working in God's time, to build a Louisiana where every child has a chance to succeed, where every family can be secure, and where every community can thrive. We cannot afford to deliver anything less for the people of Louisiana. May God bless you. May God bless this body. And may God bless the great state of Louisiana. Thank you.
As the Speaker, the House rules require that I appoint a Sergeant at Arms for the House of Representatives. I hereby appoint Gilbert Ambu as the Sergeant of Arms of the House of Representatives. The oath will be administered by the Clerk of the House.
Repeat after me. I state your full name.
Gilbert Ambo,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as Sergeant at Arms
as Sergeant at Arms
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Is there any further business to come before the House of Representatives?
Mr. Speaker and members, the following members were elected to the Appropriations Committee in accordance with House Rule 6.4. Those will be announced at this time. From Bessie District Number 1, Representative Stephanie Barault. Representative Bessie District Number 2, Representative Jason Hughes. From Bessie District Number 3, Representative Jerome Zarain. Bessie District Number 4, Representative Dodie Harton. Representative Bessie District Number 5, Representative Francis Thompson. Bessie District Number 6, Representative Kimberly Coates. Bessie District Number 7, Representative Troy Romero. And Bessie District 8, Representative Roy Darrell Adams. That list will be spread upon the journal, Mr. Speaker.
Congratulations on those elections. Representative Francis Thompson, you are recognized for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, members of this body, I move we adjourn. Sine die.
Without objection, the House is adjourned, sign and die.